Chelsea 1, Aston Villa 2. Welcome, Blue Believers, to another episode of the Stamford Sync, where we are syncing up with everything Chelsea FC. And I was really looking forward to coming back after that little Christmas break, man. I thought things were going to be better than this. It wasn't even necessarily about the loss. It was about the manner in which we lost, and it just shows mental fragility in the team and more issues with the manager, who I have tried my best to back this season, but he's making it so difficult. But guys, before we get into it, if you are enjoying the content and would like to see more of me imploding on these kind of things, please do me the distinct honour of liking and sharing the video, subscribe to the channel, or just roast me in the comments, whatever gets you through your day. Right, so let's get into it, man. Chelsea 1, Aston Villa 2. So I'm just going to do an emotionally charged rant about this, man, because it's just getting silly now, isn't it? It's literally just getting silly. We were on top, dominating this game for like 60 minutes until they made their triple sub. We were on top, start to finish. And there were some already unusual things about it, right? So the starting 11 was pretty much what you'd expect the starting 11 to be. The only question maybe was Badiashile in place of Wesley Fofana, who didn't even get on, although he was on the bench. Not sure what's going on there. I missed the press conference. I don't know if it can't be an injury thing because he was on the bench, right? But yeah, like I say, apart from Badiashile, the starting 11 was right. Yeah, okay, cool. Starting 11, that's kind of what you expect. And the other really weird thing about this game was Aston Villa's proposed formation and tactical setup for that first 60-odd minutes of the game until they made their triple substitution. They were the lowest, stinkiest low block I've ever seen, man. Do you know what I mean? It was like when we played Crystal Palace at the start of the season. It was so weird. They were basically playing in like a 4-4-2 with Rodgers up alongside Donny Marlin, and it was just like we just had all of the ball. They maybe were looking to counter-attack. I'm not even really sure, but they didn't really get much of an opportunity. What I will say is, evidently, based on the result, Aston Villa afforded us far too much respect. They went there going, we're going to struggle to go toe-to-toe with Chelsea, so we're going to play a low block, which is unusual because they've just won 10 games in a row. Like, they are on fire, absolute fire, and this isn't their usual state of play. They don't put 10 men behind the ball like as like a standard tactic for them this season. And like I say, they've just won 10 games, now 11 games in a row. So you've got to think that Aston Villa absolutely showed us far too much respect. We looked great, and honestly, I was enjoying it so much as well. I was enjoying it so much, man. I was just like, oh, look, we're on top. The passing's good. We are creating chances. We had so Aston Villa had 0 shots in the first half. Zero shots. We had 7 shots, or like 7-8 shots, a couple on target in the first half. We were completely all over them. They didn't have any responses. They were really struggling to get through our back line, and it was just not happening for them, and we were just absolutely on top. The goal that we scored came from a corner from Reece James, and it was a bit of a weird one. Reece James, it looked like he'd scored directly from the corner, a la Hakim Ziyech when he played for Ajax in the Champions League against us. If you know, you know. But eventually it got given to João Pedro because he literally whipped it in, and it looked like he'd whipped it straight in, but it glanced off João Pedro. João Pedro got the goal. Okay, cool. João Pedro's got an extra goal. That's 5, 6. 6 goals for him this season, something like that now. And Reece James was looking really good, and everyone was looking really good, and it was all feeling good. Now, we weren't able to get any goals for open play, which was up until things changed. That was the only thing I was worried about. I was like, right, we are completely dominant. We've got like 70% possession. We're having all of the shots, all of the chances, but we're not really able to create any awesome clear-cut chances and good opportunities from open play. But that's okay because we're winning, and at the end of the day, what's more important right now is that we get the 3 points. That's 100% what the most important thing is. That turned out not to be the case as the game went on. So it was just a joke, man. It was just an absolute joke. So essentially what happened is during halftime, it looked like Ollie Watkins was warming up, but no halftime substitutes were made. For whatever reason, Unai Emery decided to carry on with the formation and the tactics that he'd been going with. And for the first, 10-15 minutes of the second half, it looked to be more of the same. Aston Villa started to have a couple of chances and were starting to be a little bit more aggressive, but ultimately we were dominant. And it felt like a matter of time until another one was going to be put away. And then at the 60-something minute mark, Unai Emery showed why he is different gravy from Enzo Maresca. Honestly, this entire game was typified by this moment. And it's not just about substitutions. It's not just about change these players for these players. It is about changing your tactics mid-game. And the thing is, man, the really, really important thing about this is we have seen this before. Do you remember the Wolves game that we only just scraped by 4-3? We were 3-0. I think we were 3-0, 3-1 at half-time, something like that. And they changed from a low block to a high press, and we had absolutely no answer for it. There have been other games this season where other teams have gone, this isn't working, we're going to change our tactic, and we've just completely fall apart. We just completely fall apart. Enzo Maresca has and had no plan B for this game, for the other games in which this situation arises. Which is weird, because he changes his tactics relatively often. Like, if you think about the difference when we play a low block team versus like a high pressure attacking team like Barcelona or PSG, or when we played Liverpool and stuff, like, we've seen different variations of the formations and the tactics, but for some reason, when it happens in the middle of a game, or when a player gets sent off, for instance, that's something we saw a lot at the start of the season. When a player gets sent off or something like that, Enzo Maresca's got zero answers for it, and we just capitulate and we just fall apart. That's exactly what happened today. They put 3 substitutions on in Amadou Onana, Jadon Sancho, and Ollie Watkins. And that was it. All of a sudden, it was like a brand new team had come out onto the pitch. They were having a lot more attacks. They were having a lot more of the ball. And obviously, Ollie Watkins got his first goal away within minutes of coming on. At the end of the day, it was really, really quick. And we didn't have an answer for it. We tried to respond. Maresca tried to respond with his own triple substitution. But at the same time, it was nowhere near the same, because it was like we replaced João Pedro for Liam Delap, who's been injured for, 3 weeks, a month or whatever, and has only scored 1 goal this season against a 10-man Barcelona. He changed Marco Correa, who I thought was incredible in this game, by the way. You change Marco Correa out for Malo Gusto. So utility Malo Gusto comes out again in a position that, yes, I know he's played left back for us before, but not since last season. I know Yoro Hasso was injured for this game, but I thought taking off Marco Correa for Malo Gusto was a really, really weird one. Malo Gusto, go and play left back. I know you haven't done it all season, but I need you to do it to win this game. Okay. And, oh man, it just, again, it didn't really work. And then obviously Jamie Gittins also came on for Alejandro Garnacho. Alejandro Garnacho is a frustrating player to watch at the moment, but for me, he's a lot less frustrating to watch than Jamie Gittins is. Alejandro Garnacho is spending a lot more time getting on the ball. He makes loads of really, really good cutbacks, but the problem with that is there's no one there to receive them, which is a tactical thing at the end of the day, isn't it? If you know that Alejandro Garnacho is going to make cutbacks when he gets up high, then make sure when he's on the ball that someone's going to be in there to receive them. It nearly happened a couple of times. He had a few bright moments. Again, not enough. He's still missing chances. He's still not putting out enough. But at the end of the day, in that moment where you need a goal to win the game because we were comfortable, we were dominant, taking Alejandro Garnacho off for Jamie Gittins is just like, why? I would have just left them on at that point. Do you know what I mean? Like, the subs we made didn't augment our team and didn't sort of amplify any sort of change in tactical philosophy either. We tried to play the same game we were already playing with a few wonky different players. Liam Delap barely played recently. Malo Gusto in a reasonably unfamiliar position, albeit he is a very versatile player, and Jamie Gittins that is struggling even more than Alejandro Garnacho is at the moment. So, like I say, man, for me, that kind of typifies the difference between Unai Emery and Enzo Maresca, right? If Unai Emery had our team, you would have to think he'd be doing a much better job with it. Enzo Maresca has no answer for these mid-change tactical changes. Do you know what I mean? These mid-game tactical changes, when a team goes, right, okay, we've tried this and it's not working. We need to get something out of this game. Let's try this and see what happens. And they change from a low block to a high press or something more attacking. And then all of a sudden, it's just like, bam, we've got absolutely no idea what to do with it. And I feel like I can only put that down to Maresca. So the interesting thing about Maresca in this game as well is he will obviously, because he's got too many yellow cards, he missed this game sort of. And this is the thing I haven't really seen much of before. But Maresca, when he's not on the sideline, is still managing the game. We saw it the last time he missed a game. He was sending notes onto the pitch to Reece James to change stuff or whatever. And he had a literal walkie-talkie, man. He had a literal walkie-talkie. He was sat in the stands with a walkie-talkie feeding instructions to Willy Caballero. So at the end of the day, like, he was managing the game. He was in control of the game. He will have chosen the subs. He will have had any opportunity to try and change the tactic, to change the game or whatever, but we just let Aston Villa absolutely steamroll us. Ollie Watkins got his second goal, and it was just like, mate, what's this, man? We were on top, dominant, powerful, looking good, really good possession, creating chances for 60 odd minutes, and in the snap of a finger, it all went out the window, and we got done by Ollie Watkins, super sub, who had only scored 3 goals this season and has now scored 5. So Ollie Watkins has just added 66% of his entire season's goal tally in this game against us. And like, look, this is the thing, is like, when I was watching the start of the game, I was like, oh yeah, we're doing really well. And then when we changed, I was like, do you know what that tells us? The fact that we've capitulated from this change tells us that we weren't on top because we were doing well. We were on top because Aston Villa and Unai Emery made the wrong decision. And as soon as Aston Villa and Unai Emery changed their decision, changed their tactics, adapted to the game with actual in-game management, we didn't know how to deal with it. And we started watching the same Chelsea we've been seeing in recent weeks and months past, right? It's a really difficult one, man. It's a really difficult one. So I'm really, really frustrated with this, man, because there's lots of fallout about this, right? Like, not only are Aston Villa now 10 points in front of us, which is almost insurmountable at this point of the season, isn't it? To expect Aston Villa to lose and draw 3 more games than us, bearing in mind the form they've been on, doesn't really make sense. If we'd have beaten them and they'd have lost in their next game against Arsenal, we'd only have been 1 point away from them. Do you know what I mean? That's how quickly it could have turned around. But now there's a 10-point gap. And even if they lose against Arsenal, that's still going to be a 7-point gap, even if we win our next game. So the top 4 thing is looking a lot more difficult. The top 3 are pulling away. The top 3 this is the moment that the top 3 are starting to pull away. Arsenal, Man City and Aston Villa are starting to pull away from the rest of the pack. And now from 4th to like 6th is us, Liverpool and Man United. We're basically all in the same boat at the moment. Like, we've all basically on in and around the same point. Man United and Liverpool will be smelling blood from Chelsea right now, and they will see fragility. They will see that we have had such a poor run of results for such a long time. It's going to be really, really difficult to turn that around, and it's only going to take us to lose another couple of games to be out of the top 4 and for that to be really far in front of us. If Liverpool and Manchester United win both of their next games and we don't get wins, even if we draw, they're going to start to pull away and we're going to fall really, really, really quickly. Now, you could say, yeah, right, that you could say that about Man United or Liverpool as well, but the difference is they're pushing past their difficult periods and starting to get on the ascendancy, whereas we had our good period at the start of the season, and we've had now 2 awful patches, essentially. We've had 2 really, really bad patches. So the thing is with this game, right, it was always going to be hard. Aston Villa are on incredible form. This is now 11 wins in a row. Morgan Rogers is playing really, really, really well. Ollie Watkins has just decided to start playing well out of nowhere. And people are having the title challenge conversation with Aston Villa now, as they were with us, Chelsea, a couple of weeks ago. I don't think that Aston Villa are on for a title challenge. I'm not going to lie. I think that's definitely a bridge too far. But I think Aston Villa look very, very comfortable to finish in the Champions League based on where they are this season. So for us, it's like, it's damage control now, man. It's absolute damage control. We have to get into the Champions League next season. And if we don't, that's going to cause all sorts of problems. We're not going to be able to go out and get the players that we want. There's going to be players that are in the squad at the moment that aren't going to be happy because, they have pay rises when we get in the Champions League and they get pay rises when we perform well. I'm not sure what happens with those pay rises when we're not in the Champions League. It's going to be more difficult to attract front of shirt sponsors, which we absolutely should have done when we won the Club World Cup and had the Champions League in the bag, by the way. So we're just on the start of a rickety fall down to a really, really difficult position at Chelsea Football Club, man. And if the news is to be believed, we're not looking to go hard in the January window to try and turn it around either. So we might get a couple of players, maybe a midfielder. I would have thought it'd be the thing because our midfield depth has obviously been, propped up by Reece James and Malo Gusto for the majority of the last couple of months because our midfield depth has been injured. So, okay, but it's not even just about the depth at the moment, is it? It's not even just about the depth. It's like our first team looks like it's really, really struggling. We haven't got a striker that can comfortably score goals. Like João Pedro got the goal today, but he didn't get the goal. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't amazing. Like he did good to create chaos in the box and confuse the goalkeeper and stuff. Don't get me wrong, but he was attributed with the goal, but not because of a striker's instinct or anything like predatory instincts or anything like that. Do you know what I mean? He was just there and it hit off of him. Liam Delap did nothing when he came on today, man. Liam Delap did absolutely nothing when he came on today. We've got a really good foundation of the team, man. We've got great fullbacks, we've got good midfielders, we've got some good attacking players in general, but we don't have enough. And again, it was another one of those games where, for the most part, Rob Sanchez is starting to look like our best player. Why? Why is this even a thing? Why is this even a thing that we can say? Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm not looking forward to the next couple of weeks, to be honest. And the thing that's really annoyed me about this, and I don't really want to talk about it too much, but it's like, this is the reason that I was really annoyed with Enzo Maresca when he came out and said what he said about not getting support. I'm like, bro, you've won one game against Everton in the last 7 now. Do you know what I mean? You can come out and talk about, I don't feel supported by the club, when you're getting results at the end of the day. And the thing is, you can't blame the transfer market today on we were dominant, we were in the ascendancy, we were winning, and we threw it away because the manager refused to adapt to the game that was being played in front of him. So for me, that's how it feels anyway. I'd really, really like to know what you guys feel about that in the comments, and I'd love to know how you think things are going to go for us going forward. Like I say, I can only hope, there was an inkling of an idea that we might have gone in for Semenyo. I know that's not going to happen, but if that kind of money is there to go in for an attacking player who can get goals, surely that's got to be one of the priorities now. Like, yes, let's get a midfielder in to cover the squad depth, but if it's going to be anything else for this season, surely it's got to be a striker at this point, because Liam Delap has been just curtailed by injuries, man. At the end of the day, injuries and suspension have hampered his development. So we've got the same Liam Delap now than we had at the start of the season. We haven't got a Liam Delap that's had half a season with the team to learn how they play and get, minutes and experience and start scoring a few goals and stuff. We've got a Liam Delap who's managed to play 11, 12 games across the entire season. Not even full games. That's appearances, by the way. So it's probably like 5 or 6, maybe 7 full games. And he only scored in 1 appearance against Barcelona when they were 10 men down. So the Liam Delap we've got is the same one, if not worse than the one we had at the start of the season, because he's had no time to develop. João Pedro evidently does not have enough predatory instincts to be relied upon to score goals. Cole Palmer is coming back from injury and can't be relied upon to score goals. Esteval Willian is being played really intermittently, so cannot be relied upon to score goals. Where are the goals coming from? That's my big question with this team at the moment, is where do we expect the goals to come from? And that's, it is a difficult one, isn't it? Because that's when you can start talking about, the owners didn't buy a striker or whatever. But at the end of the day, at the start of the season, we were all really happy. Do you know what I mean? In the summer, João Pedro looked unbelievable and Liam Delap looked like a really good backup option. The injuries and stuff have definitely made things difficult, but I don't feel like that's even what we lost out on today. Do you know what I mean? For me, it was game management today. But in general, going forward to try and save our season, we need a confident goal scorer, man. We absolutely just need a confident goal scorer. And if we don't get one, I really, really think we're going to struggle. So, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. It's been a bit of an emotional, heated rant, but I hope you all enjoyed it. Thank you very much for sticking around until the end of the video. If you did, I'm going to be back making loads of content now. And it's just the time, isn't it? And I hope this kind of thing doesn't happen, because otherwise I'm just going to be ranting all the time. But it will be what it will be. Nice one, guys. I hope you all having an absolutely wicked day. I hope you all had a brilliant holiday, whether you celebrated or not, whatever you've been doing over the last week. I hope you've had a fantastic time. I'll catch up with you all very, very soon. Take it easy. Peace.